All right, thank you. You can be seated. All right, your next question.
Tom, may I please have you put up Plaintiff's Exhibit 881A? Ms. Hurd, I'm going to ask you to take a look at Plaintiff's Exhibit 881A. This is one of the articles containing the counterclaim statements by Adam Waldman. Is that correct?
I haven't seen the article yet.
Okay. Why don't we go to page 8 of this article? Adam Waldman, Depp's lawyer, said afterwards, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as a sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is that one of the statements that you allege are defamatory? It's defamatory?
That's correct.
Okay. Can we please go to Plaintiff's Exhibit 881B? And if we could go to page 10 and 11. In Plaintiff's Exhibit 881B, Depp's lawyer Adam Waldman said the various discrepancies prove that nothing Heard and her friends said about the events of May 21, 2016 could be considered credible. Quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt didn't do the trick, he told thedailymail.com. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911. But even this didn't have... Oh, apologize. You're fine. Okay. And if we can please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 881C. And go to page 11. This is another article, Ms. Hurd, where you argue that Mr. Waldman's statements are defamatory, correct?
I don't know if this is taken from that article because I can't see the article in full.
It's page 11 of the article. And the statement reads, we have reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Hurd's abuse hoax against Mr. Depp. Is that correct? Is that one of the what you claim is one of the defamatory statements said by Mr. Waldman?
I believe so.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hurd, you're not aware of any career opportunities that you lost as a result of Mr. Waldman's statements, are you?
Well, it's kind of hard to point to the jobs you're not offered,
Right.
to the gigs you don't get.
You were not replaced in Aquaman 2, were you?
They released me from my contract, and I fought to stay in it, and they kept me in it. I just don't know how much I'm in, actually, of the final cut.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal actually extended your contract in April of 2020. Is that correct?
In part, they extended it and held me.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal extended your contract again in November of 2021, correct?
Not exactly. They extended it because they couldn't use me or any of the materials for me.
And that extension was for 20 months, right?
That's correct.
Ms. Hurd, you testified yesterday how Mr. Waldman's statements, quote, torture you every day. Do you recall that testimony?
I do.
And then, and that you look at them every day.
I look at the online attacks, the media. You can't avoid it, to be honest, that those statements are often attached to. I don't look at his statements every day.
And you testified that you just want to move on with your life, right?
I do very much want to move on with my life.
But you've gone out of your way to engage with Mr. Waldman on social media, haven't you?
I have made a comment, I believe, once. I would not characterize that as engaging with him.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1266. It's right there.
Your microphone. Yeah. Your microphone. Just...
I don't have this yet, so I'm asking for it to
right
be
there.
given to me before.
It's a photograph.
I think it's just a...
This is your tweet, right, Ms. Hurd?
That is correct.
I'm going to move to admit and publish this tweet.
I would object on relevance.
The objection, I'm sorry, what's the objection?
I'm sorry, relevance?
All right, I'll overrule the objection. 881C in evidence. Is that right?
Can we please have it published to the jury?
I'm sorry, 1266. I apologize. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is from March 26, 2021, right?
That's what it looks like, yes.
And this is after he made the statement you claim, the statements you claim are defamatory, right, Ms. Hurd?
21, yes.
Ms. Hurd, you tweeted at Adam Waldman, quote, "Yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion you will still be short." Did I read that right?
Yes.
We can put this down. Thank you. Ms. Hurd, since your relationship with Mr. Depp ended, you have completed your level 3 sommelier training, haven't you?
I haven't completed it yet.
You're on level 2?
No, I'm on level 3.
You also have had a baby, right?
I have.
And you enjoy being a mother?
More than anything.
You still love to cook?
I do.
And you love to hike?
I've taken a break on hiking for a minute.
You have friends, right?
I do have friends.
And you spend time with those friends?
Occasionally, when I can.
And you exercise regularly?
Every day.
You just filmed a movie in March of 2022, isn't that right?
Yes, the one I just shot in Guatemala that I spoke of earlier.
And you have, you had a major role in a major film that's scheduled to be released soon. Is that correct? Aquaman 2?
As I said, I don't know if I will even be in the final cut or how much I will be. It was difficult to stay in the movie.
You struck Mr. Depp multiple times during your relationship, didn't you, Ms. Heard?
There were many times I had to use my body to defend myself, and that included swinging wherever I could. If it meant I could get away, absolutely. If it meant a difference between a sore face and a broken nose, you bet I would.
That's your testimony under oath that you never struck Mr. Depp as the initial aggressor?
Well, he was holding me against the wall by my neck. You know, I might be the first person to have been the first one to slap, which happened in Australia, you know, and he was choking me. But I wouldn't say I was the initial aggressor in that situation.
You got physical with Mr. Depp often during your relationship, didn't you?
I had to defend myself as best I could. Didn't seem to make much of a difference.
You just couldn't control yourself, could you, Ms. Heard?
I tried to defend myself when I could, but it was after years of not defending myself.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 356? And, Your Honor, portions of the exhibit were entered into evidence yesterday, but we moved to admit the entire recording.
All right,
and I can confirm that there's no other voices besides Ms. Heard's and Mr. Depp's. And I intend to play from 1:29:27 to 1:30:07.
So I have 356A in evidence. Is any objection to the entire 356 coming into evidence?
If I may.
Okay,
Hold on just for
sure.
a moment, Your Honor. I have to check on something. Which one? Which one is the one that has? The excerpt for now, and we'll double check our notes on that, because there was one that had something in that couldn't go, and I just can't find my notes on that
We'll just call it 356B for now.
That's fine. Thank you, Your Honor.
Could you just give me the times again?
Yes, of course. 1:29:27 to 1:30:07.
All right, and I'm just told that we already have a B, so you have to do 356C.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it. I can fucking promise you I'm gonna do everything to change. Promise you. I'm not gonna throw around divorce. I will not say divorce unless I leave you. Unless it's it. And then I hope you leave me. I'm not going to, and me too. I will leave you. It's fair. I can't do it, you know? And I think, honestly, if we hold each other accountable to that, it's fair.
Ms. Heard, that's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, correct?
That's correct.
And you told Mr. Depp, quote, "I can't promise you that I won't get physical," end quote. Correct?
That's correct. He was accusing me of instigating something in a situation I explained yesterday.
And you also told Mr. Depp that sometimes you get so mad you lose it, correct?
That's correct. I also explained the context of that fight yesterday.
Isn't that exactly what you told Ben King on your way back from Australia? That you get so mad you lose it?
Absolutely not. I know that that's what Ben King testified to, but I never had that conversation with Ben King.
If we could please
In the
play.
meantime, I'm sorry. I checked, and I have no objection to the entirety of 356 coming
So
in.
356 in its entirety will be in evidence. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. If we could please play from what's now been admitted, Plaintiff's Exhibit 356 in its entirety from 7:05 to 7:43.
I'm not gonna be in a physical fucking altercation with you.
Then don't.
You fucking hit me last night. You fucking...
What about all the other times you split? Come on, you cannot act like that. It's about that. It's
Well,
not.
we're on a plane. I can't split.
No, and you hit back. So don't act like you don't fucking
I
participate.
pushed you.
I'm not going to get into the details of that fight. You and I both know that you split when there is no physical violence involved. And that you do it like at the very beginning of fights these days. And if you split and you go into a different room and you don't actually leave that house, it does nothing but perpetuate the fight. And you don't actually do it respectfully. You don't.
Ms. Hurd, is that you and Mr. Depp on this recording?
Yes, it is.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 343? And I believe that one's been admitted already into evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And just for the record, we're playing from 24601 to 24720.
I said to Travis, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the fucking thing. And
you figured it out.
And you said, no, fucking, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, you've been in a lot of fights. You've been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you?
What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you started.
You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up,
Because you
Johnny.
started physical fights.
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You're admirable.
That's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, right, Ms. Hurd?
That's correct.
And you said you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yeah, I had to hit his body to get
Ms.
him out
Hurd,
of the door.
my question was, you said on that recording that you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you accused him of being a baby for not wanting to be in a physical fight with you, right?
Incorrect. I accused him of being a baby for complaining about me hitting him when he was trying to get through the door. I was trying to barricade.
Right. Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 368? And again, Your Honor, this is a recording of just Mr. Depp and Ms. Hurd. I'm going to move for the entire exhibit to be moved into evidence.
All right, any objection to 368?
I don't think so, no, Your Honor.
All right, no objection. 368 in evidence in its entirety.
It's a shitty law. Anyway, I opened the bathroom door when you were knocking on it. After a few times I opened, and you just kept going. You just kept going. I tried to close the door 3 times. Please, just don't. And then wait, and then I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes, and I didn't mean to do that. And I bent down, and you either pushed or you kicked. I think you kicked the door open. The door, more open, so that it would hit me. And it hit me.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know that.
It hit me in the fucking head.
But I did not mean to do that. I don't know what you're talking
I was
about.
bent down behind the door.
I did not do anything to her. I did not kick a door or push a door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear that it was not my intention. I think I remember when the door scraped my toes, I reacted, but the door thing, I remember, I never did that. That wasn't on purpose. I might have done it on accident.
Okay.
But
so let's say that was an accident. I then stood up. I don't even know if I said, I might have said like, what the fuck, whatever, because I'd just been hit in the head with the fucking corner of the door.
I'm so sorry, I did not. I'm sorry.
And then I stood up, and then you fucking clocked me.
I remember hitting you as a response to the door thing. And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door or hitting your head. I did not mean to, nor...
You didn't mean to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I did mean to hit you.
So that you didn't mean?
The door? No, God, no, I didn't.
But punching me in the jaw.
I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry I hit you. I did mean to hit you, but it was in response. I just reacted in response to my foot. I just reacted, and I'm sorry. It's below me.
Your foot? That was why you punched me?
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I...
Again, that's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, right?
That's correct.
And Mr. Depp was hiding from you in the bathroom. Isn't that right, Ms. Heard?
Incorrect.
Well, Mr. Depp said on that recording, I opened the bathroom door when you were knocking on it. Doesn't he?
I don't know if he said that, and I didn't hear that.
And Mr. Depp said, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes. He says that, doesn't he?
Correct.
And then you kicked the bathroom door into his head, didn't you?
No, I didn't. And
then you punched him in the jaw.
Defended myself in that audio. You can hear it for yourself.
Right. And then you punched him in the jaw.
I also did not do that. I tried to make that clear on the audio tape too, in futility.
So Mr. Depp said, you meant to punch me in the jaw, right?
Are you asking me what he said on the recording? Yes, he said that.
And then you respond, I meant to hit you, didn't you?
As I explained yesterday, I was trying to get him off the door.
And you said, I remember, I did mean to hit you.
Meaning the door. The door was on my feet. I reacted instinctively to that.
Yeah, you've heard this audio before, haven't you, Ms. Heard?
Yeah, we've already had this trial before.
Yeah, it was played for you when you were deposed in 2016 in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
That's one of the times I've heard it, yes.
Okay. So you've had plenty of time to think about how to respond to this recording, haven't you?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, let's take a look at how you responded to it the first time. Can we please pull up what will be marked Plaintiff's Exhibit 1261?
The next thing that I'm going to play to you as Hugh.
All right. This is another new. Oh, if you want to come. Which?
I'm going to read it into the record and I'll hand this to you. So, I will. So, Your Honor, for reference, and I will provide a copy of the deposition, Ms. Heard's deposition in the divorce. It's page 372, lines starting at line 5 through 377, line 12.
All right, I think.
Okay. Yes. Copy of the deposition.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, with permission, may we please play?
If we just get to that page, make sure everybody's at the... Oh, could you say the page number again,
Yes,
please?
absolutely.
Page 372, lines 5 to 377, line 1 is what.
The next thing that I'm going to play to you as Hugh. Would you listen to this, please? This is punching. It's wonderful, right? Let's keep on.
Anyway, the bathroom door when you're not on it.
This is the
You just kept going, you just kept going, you kept going. Tried to close the door 3 times.
Your Honor?
Maybe we stop that for a minute.
Then they can do they can do it through reading the deposition, Your Honor. They don't need to do that. I asked them to take it off the screen.
Could you take it off the screen? Okay. That's fine.
Thank you.
I have no objection.
Can we please start it over?
The next thing that I'm going to play to you as Hugh. Would you listen to this, please? This is punching. It's wonderful, right? This is punching. Let's keep on.
Anyway, the bathroom door when you're not on it.
This is the Where's the desk?
You just kept going, you just kept going, you kept going. Tried to close the door 3 times. You know, please, just don't let me know. And then wait, and then I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess stretched your toes. I didn't mean to do that. I bent down. And you either push or you kick the door open. I mean, say put the door, get more open. So
No, I did not mean to. But I did not mean to do that.
I was bent down behind the door.
I did not do anything to her. I did not kick at the door or push the door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear to God. I mean, that was not my intention. I think I remember when the door scraped my toes.
Okay. So you told him in that excerpt that you hit him with the door but did not intend to hit him, correct? Did you say that?
I said whatever I said in that recording. I
Okay.
don't. When you play it for me, it's hard for me to remember every single.
And that's a recording marked as exhibit the punching.
Q that we
Q.
just played.
Q. Would you continue to listen to exhibit Q?
Are these from the same day?
I reacted that this whole the door thing. I remember. I never did that. That was on purpose. I was on an accident.
Okay. But let's say that was an accident. I then stood up. I don't even know if I said. I might have said like, "What the fuck?" You know, whatever. I just been hit in the head with the fucking corner of the door.
I'm so sorry. I did not. I'm sorry.
And then I stood up. And then you flipped the clock.
I remember hitting you as a response to the door thing.
That's exactly what I just told her.
And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door or hitting your head. I did not mean to, nor.
You don't need to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to
I did
punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I do remember I did mean to hit you.
For that, you didn't mean.
The door? No, God, no.
But punching me in the jaw.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So on the tape, you tell Johnny Depp that you did mean to hit him.
And it also misrepresents what actually happened, which is him trying to get into a room I'm trying to keep him out of. And then he runs the door over my toes, trying to get into the room. I tried to push him out of it, which is what the hit is referred to. And Johnny, whenever he was injured or touched it, always referred to it in these ways of punching or clocked or whatever. And whether you discussed it with him or not, the last thing you do in talking to him afterwards or trying to reconcile with him is to get into what the definition of those words mean to him. I never even addressed it. He would, if he was ever pushed, it was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, it's just very dramatic.
Isn't it true?
You're smiling as that audio recording is being played in your deposition, aren't you, Ms. Heard?
Not smiling because of the audio. I'm smiling because of what's happening around me.
You even roll your eyes at one point, don't you?
I was sitting opposite a whole table full of lawyers who were snickering, laughing, and rolling their eyes at me while I was talking.
Is there something amusing about kicking a door into your husband's head?
No, I was rolling my eyes and commenting on what I was experiencing at that time in recounting the story.
Is there something amusing to you about punching your husband in the jaw?
That is not what I was smiling about, and no, I do not think it's amusing.
Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday that all you want to do is move on. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, your exact words were, quote, "I just want him to leave me alone. I want to move on with my life, and he won't let me." Do you remember that?
Yes, that is correct.
But that's not true, is it, Ms. Heard?
It is very true.
You just haven't been able to move on with your life, have you? From Mr. Depp.
I'm here, aren't I?
In fact, on October 11th, 2018, you actually commenced an arbitration action against Mr. Depp for defamation, didn't you?
I don't recall that, no.
Your Honor, may I approach? May we approach? Please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 219. And Ms. Heard, if you could please read to yourself the first page of Exhibit 219.
All right.
And if you can also read to yourself the second page of Exhibit 219.
Yes.
And if you can scroll down, Tom, again, Ms. Heard, just to look at that page. And then scroll down to the next page, please. And the next page. Does that refresh your recollection, Ms. Heard, that you did, in fact, in October of 2018, 2 months before you published the op-ed in this case, that's the subject of this case, you initiated an arbitration against Mr. Depp for defamation?
It's not my understanding I initiated an arbitration. It's my understanding that our lawyers sent a letter to his lawyers after he called me a liar again, effectively, in an interview.
And that's 2 months before your op-ed that was published in December of 2018, right?
That is correct.
And that's 6 months before Mr. Depp filed this case against you, correct?
That's correct.
So you fired the first shot, not Mr. Depp.
I disagree. We sent a letter.
Thank you. Ms. Heard, isn't it true that you once filled out a customs form falsely so that you could get...
May we approach?
Okay.
Ms. Hurd, you testified yesterday that when you left the courthouse after obtaining the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, you walked out to, quote, a sea of paparazzi and cameras, right?
That's correct.
You testified that you were surprised to see the sea of cameras.
That's correct.
Because it was quiet when you went into the courthouse that morning.
And the divorce had remained under the radar up to that point.
You testified that no one knew about your divorce, so you thought it was going to stay that way, right?
No, I always figured it would come out. I just was trying to buy time.
You knew the media had been alerted that you were filing for divorce, right, Ms. Hurd?
No, I just knew that it was impossible to do that privately, so you could just hope it was a matter of time.
You knew they were going to be there, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Your
I mean,
publicist-
I assume since it's a public building that there is that likelihood, or not likelihood, but possibility. But I was, I was shocked.
Your publicist, Jody Gottlieb, was there at the courthouse with you, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
So you anticipated that you might need your publicist?
I thought the filing might make, well, I was told the filing was public, that it would be impossible. There's no way for you to do a private filing. And then the second that I filed for the TRO, it would be public news. I didn't expect all these photographers and cameras to show up at the courthouse in real time, but they did.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280, which is a clip from your divorce deposition, and you have at page, if I can alert you, you have the transcript there, page 74, lines 22.
You said 874?
74.
74.
Line 22 through
Page.
75, line 13.
I'm sorry, just 72 lines.
74, line 22 through 75, line 13.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Okay. If we could please play and display to the jury Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280.
Is responsible.
Ms. Hurd, did you send a text message to Jerry Judge on May 24, 2016, telling Jerry Judge, quote, "I'm desperately trying to reach Johnny. It's extremely important. Please tell him"?
I remember sending the text message that is in front of me right now to Jerry, and I remember sending this because I wanted to tell Johnny or have him told by Jerry or someone who knew him or was close to him. Basically, I didn't want him to find out online that I had or was about to file or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing or my intention to do so from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
You slipped up there, didn't you, Ms. Heard? You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
TMZ is the same outlet that you released the video of Mr. Depp attacking the kitchen cabinets the day before this deposition was taken, wasn't it?
I didn't do that. I don't know how to do
TMZ owns
that.
the copyright to that video now, doesn't it?
I have no idea what TMZ
Did they pay you for that?
I never got paid for it because I had nothing to do with that.
So TMZ was just lucky in getting the inside scoop to your divorce from Mr. Depp, huh?
I have no idea. That's not my area of expertise. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And also, what does that get me? If I wanted to leak things about Johnny, I could have done that in a much more successful way, in a bigger way, for years.
Not when you were extorting him for $7 million.
I got a fraction of what I was entitled to in the state of California, by the way.
Right.
What extortion?
Tassa Van Reeves, your ex-wife, right?
That's right. She's my ex-partner.
She's the one that you told this jury Mr. Depp was jealous of, right?
Yeah, well, that was 2013 fights around March, yes.
You testified that he tried to burn one of her paintings, right?
That's correct.
You testified he tried to burn one of your favorite paintings that she did, right?
I don't know if it was one of my favorites.
You committed domestic violence against Miss Van Reed during your relationship, didn't you?
No, I did not.
You assaulted her at a Seattle airport in 2009, didn't you?
No, I did not.
And people saw that.
That's not true.
And it was covered in the press. Isn't that true?
It was planted in the press by Johnny's team 2 days after I got the TRO. Not coincidentally.
Can you please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1279?
Your Honor, may we approach?
We could please have that article displayed for the witness. This is an article from 2 years ago, correct, Ms. Heard?
I don't know when this
May of
was.
2020?
That's not when it came out, no. This story started getting planted after I got a TRO, after I got a restraining order against Johnny.
The headline says, Amber Heard
Objection,
allegedly
Your Honor.
struck.
Objection, Your Honor. I think Your Honor ruled she can't say that.
If you want to approach again.
The title reads, Amber Heard allegedly struck her ex-girlfriend at the airport, doesn't it?
Yes, and that's not true.
May we approach?
Okay.
So the article, the title is Amber Heard allegedly struck her ex-girlfriend.
She's already.
No, overruled, go ahead.
Thank you. If I may start over. Amber Heard allegedly struck her ex-girlfriend Tassa Van Ree at the airport in 2009. Did I read that right?
Yes, this is another example of the smear campaign.
So Mr. Depp is not the only domestic partner you've assaulted, is he, Ms. Heard?
I've never assaulted Mr. Depp or anyone else that I've been romantically linked to, ever.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, cross-examination. I'm sorry, redirect.
Ms. Heard, did Ms. Van Rey come out after that article came in and make a public statement it was false?
Of course she did.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Your Honor, I should be at least be.
Overruled.
Thank you.
Of course she did.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the TMZ alerted. Explain to the jury what you meant by the TMZ was alerted.
So when you make these kind of filings, meaning divorce, marriage, things like that, they are public record. And so when I filed for divorce, I asked my team to file in the most discreet way, literally to put it under a stack of papers and file it at the end of day, so kind of had more of a shot of being missed by the paparazzi and by TMZ and those sorts of publicity outlets. I believe that we had been remarkably lucky following the divorce that it wasn't picked up, and that it gave me a precious few days of peace at that really fragile time. When I found out that they were going to run the story or that they had the information, I was trying to get a hold of Johnny to clarify that I did not do this in a punitive way. I didn't want him to be mad at me. I didn't want him to find out in that sort of context online.
And who had connections to TMZ?
Objection calls for speculation.
Do you know?
I do know. Johnny and I spoke about it.
Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Sustain the objection.
Did Mr. Depp tell you about who had connections with TMZ?
Yes, we talked about it. His lawyer, Laura Wasser.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start at the verification process in July, correct?
That was
Objection leading.
First one.
Sustain.
Okay.
Kissed me again, held me. I cried, he cried, and then we had a short exchange, and he put a note in my pocket that said, "I'll love you dead or alive."
Can Defendants Exhibit 1581L? I'm sorry? Oh. Could you tell the jury what the coaster was that he slipped into your pocket, what it said?
It said, "I love you forever, my Slim, dead or alive."
And what, if anything, did it have in addition?
His new phone number.
And to be, just so we're clear, on how many occasions in that second mediation did Mr. Depp look you in the eye?
Many.
Okay. And when Ms. Vasquez asked you if you knew why Mr. Depp couldn't or wouldn't look you in the eye here or in the UK, you said, yes, you know. Why? Please tell the jury why.
Because he's guilty. Because he knows he's lying. Otherwise, why can't he look at me? I survived. I survived that man, and I'm here, and I'm able to look at him.
Thank you. You were asked about a bruise that was on your arm from March 15, 2013. Do you recall how long before the picture you had sustained that bruise?
I do.
How long?
2 weeks.
Okay. You were asked a number of times by Ms. Vasquez if you took pictures from your incidents earlier in the relationship.
Yes.
Why didn't you?
It was something I started doing only kind of incidentally. You know, I was commenting to my best friend. I was looking for support from my mom, things like that. There was, I'm ashamed to say, never a thought that this would happen. I mean, not until December and my best friend taking pictures of me to capture it that wasn't even a thing.
It has been suggested by Ms. Vasquez to you in your questions that you didn't tell anyone about the abuse until the TRO. Is that true?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
All right. What if any? All right. Who did you tell about the abuse during the time it was happening?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
That's not offered to.
And hearsay.
Sustained.
Your Honor, it's prior consistent statements.
It's leading. It's sustained. Next question.
Okay. What, if anything, did you tell to anyone about the abuse?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain.
Your Honor, may I approach?
That's fine.
Ms. Heard, how many people have you shared the fact of abuse prior to 2015?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading. Calls for hearsay.
How many?
Overruled that one.
Roughly about 10.
Can you name them?
Yes. Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I think she can. It's not offered. It's just showed that she informed people before. They're suggesting.
Objection, Your Honor. Can we approach? This is again an approach.
Now, you were asked whether you had consulted a medical doctor about any problems with your nose, correct?
That's correct.
And you indicated that you, in fact, had after the divorce,
Objection
correct?
leading.
Did you or did you not consult an ENT after the divorce?
Objection leading.
Did you produce medical records to the defendants relating to this?
Objection leading calls.
I'll sustain the objection.
Thank you.
It's leading.
And-
Next question.
And Your Honor, if we could, the witness could be instructed not to answer until I've lodged my objection.
Wait for the objection, please.
Could we bring up Defendant's Exhibit 1077?
1077.
Do you recognize this document? My screen is black.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
Yes, I do.
And could you tell us what it is?
That's what my ENT, the ears, nose, and throat doctor, told me was
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
All right. When there's objection, please stop talking. Thank you. All right. I'll sustain the objection as to hearsay.
Okay. What, if any, you were asked if you had, it was suggested that you had not produced this in discovery. Is that true or false?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Your Honor, she absolutely did that.
It's leading. It's leading question, though. I'll sustain the objection as to leading.
What, if anything, did you do to produce medical records to the defendant, to the plaintiff in this case?
I turned over all of my devices, and they had Johnny's team had a third party or someone they selected as a third party go and pull all relevant documents from those devices, which I handed over.
Do you know how many were handed over?
Hundreds of thousands, I believe. Maybe.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
Okay. All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
And what, if anything, did you produce to the plaintiff in connection with your consultation with an ENT specialist relating to your nose?
Objection, leading.
Sustained.
Foundation, hearsay.
What, if anything, that is not the cure-all. It's sustained.
When did you see an ENT specialist?
2017 or 2016 or 17.
And as a result of that consultation, what did you learn about your nose?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'm not asking her to tell what they said.
No, I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, production did you make to the plaintiffs of your medical records with the ENT?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
If you only have foundation.
Do you know whether the medical records from your EMT were produced in discovery in this
Objection,
case?
Your Honor, lack of foundation calls for speculation.
I'm
I'm
asking.
overruled if she knows.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall? I'm trying. What, if anything, did the medical records reflect about your nose?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you have injuries to your nose?
Yes.
Please describe those to the jury.
I have a bunch of scar
to
tissue.
I'm going to object to the extent it calls for hearsay and lack of foundation.
Overruled.
An improper expert opinion.
Well,
She can certainly testify to.
we'll see where it goes. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a significant amount of scar tissue in my nose.
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, difficulty do you have breathing?
Objection, leading.
What, if anything? And that does cure on
No,
it.
it doesn't. But I'll overrule the objection.
Thank you. Do you remember the question?
I have a significant amount of trouble breathing at night, and I've been putting off having surgery for it.
Okay. Now, you were asked about December 15, 2015, and Ms. Vasquez suggested that you did not report the abuse or the injuries to Aaron Falati. Do you recall that
Objection,
question?
Your Honor, leading.
Your Honor, I'm entitled to go into what Ms. Vasquez asked her.
The objection is leading. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Did you report, what, if anything, did you report to Aaron Falati about the abuse you sustained on 12/15/2015?
Objection, leading and hearsay.
Approach.
Did you tell Nurse Filati on 12/16/2015 about the injuries you sustained from the 12/15/2015 attack?
I did. I believe I sent her pictures too.
Okay. And did you text with Nurse Filati on 12/16/2015 about the injuries that you had suffered as a result of Mr. Depp's attack on you on 12/15?
Yes, she guided me through a concussion check.
And did you tell Connell Cowan about the injuries you sustained?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
It's prior consistent statements, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to sustain the objection at this point. Next question.
Do you recall Dr. Laurel Anderson testifying that she saw two black eyes
Objection,
on
Your Honor.
12/17?
Leading.
Sustain as to leading.
Okay. What, if anything, do you recall from Laurel Anderson's testimony in this case about what she observed on 12/17/2015?
Objection, Your Honor. This is outside the scope of cross-examination.
It's prior consistent statements.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
It's observations for
I'm
the
gonna
12/17, the same day.
Sustain the objection. Next question.
May I approach?
Okay.
When in December did you see Dr. Laurel Anderson?
Objection, lack of foundation.
Overruled.
I saw her 2 days after the attack.
So on what day did you see her then?
That would have been the 17th of December, 2016, and I told her what happened.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
No, sustain the objection.
And when did you see Dr. Connell Cowan?
I saw him the next day, December 16th is my best recollection.
Let's jump to East Asia for a moment. And we saw a number of pictures from the backless dress. What, if any, motivation would you have to claim that Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back, knowing you had a backless dress?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
I think I can bring
calls for
that out.
speculation.
It's still leading. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Why did you say that Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back in East Asia?
In the closet of the hotel room in Tokyo, I said that because it happened to me. And it would have been much more convenient if I was making it up to not include that detail, knowing I had a backless dress and I walked a press line and got photographed.
Now, we've heard testimony about Mr. Depp making a total of $65 million in 2015 and 2016 from his experts.
Objection, Your Honor.
Why
leading?
I haven't asked the
hearsay.
question. Why did you not ask for $32.5 million from Mr. Depp?
Your Honor, leading.
I said, why did you not ask?
Irrelevant.
I'll sustain the objection. Sustain the objection to leading. Next question.
Why, can I just ask, why did you not ask for $32.5 million from Mr. Depp?
Because I didn't want
Asked and answered. Relevance.
Oh, overruled. Good.
Because I didn't want it. I realized that that's what I was entitled to, but I didn't want it. That simple.
The tape recording that was played that has you laughing quite a bit, can you tell the jury what the context of that particular tape recording was?
I don't really recall a whole lot about what was going on. I know we had been fighting kind of ad nauseum and in this sort of loop, if you will, and I'm doing my best to not show my pain. That's what I was trying to do. Was trying to be tough, not show what kind of pain I was in.
Okay. Now, Ms. Vasquez asked you about how you got your role in Aquaman. Could you please describe to the jury how you got your role in Aquaman?
I auditioned, not Johnny. I auditioned. I worked really hard, and I went to where we were filming the first movie, Justice League. I went, I think, 5.5 months early before filming commenced, when I heard that they wanted to fire me, and so I put myself in the job.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Keep it away.
I worked really hard.
They said.
I worked really hard on that and had to prove myself, and I did that. Even though I was only filming for 6 days, I was there for 6 months. Just worked my butt off. That's why.
What, if any, role did Mr. Depp play in your getting Aquaman?
He tried to have me fired from it.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
All right, I'll sustain his speculation.
How do you know that he tried to have you fired?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation and hearsay and lack of foundation.
I'm trying to lay a foundation.
All right, if you lay a foundation.
I saw it. I saw the emails. I saw the texts.
I'll sustain the objection as to hearsay. Next question.
You were asked about Isaac Baruch and why and that he saw no marks. What is your recollection of your interaction with Isaac Baruch during the week of May 22nd?
I saw Isaac when I was coming or going, meaning I was leaving or arriving to the building. I saw him at a distance. We did not have a in-depth conversation, nor would we. And I told him, actually, right after it happened, what his friend had done.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I don't think it's offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Okay. Stay away from what was said. Can you just tell us what interaction you had with him and his opportunity to observe you with absolutely no makeup?
Objection,
That's
Your Honor.
impossible.
Leading.
I'll sustain the objection. It's leading.
Please describe for the jury your interaction with Isaac Baruch during the week of May 22nd.
Well, not only did I have makeup on, but I did attempt to kind of let him know what happened.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You were asked some questions about Officer Melissa Science's testimony. What, if anything, do you recall relating to Officer Melissa Science's testimony relating to your injuries?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Your Honor said I could redirect after the cross-examination when she...
You want to approach?
I recall her saying that she didn't feel that the state I was in was enough.
Okay.
And what about the property damage?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Do you know?
Yes.
Please tell us.
As much friendship at that time as I could possibly get.
Now, the video showed him laying his head on your shoulder. Can you describe for the jury what the interaction was, without saying what was said, what the interaction was that led to that?
He, after seeing my face, put his
Objection, Your
head on
Honor,
my
calls
shoulder.
for speculation.
That doesn't call for speculation. If she sees that he sees her.
He touched the side of my
I'll
face
sustain the
too.
objection.
And
Okay.
again, Your Honor, if we can instruct the witness
If
to...
you could wait till after the objection, please. All right, next question.
What did Mr. Franco do on the elevator before laying his head on your shoulder?
He touched the side of my face and responded to what he saw.
We talked about you were shown a bunch of newspaper headlines, and there was one in particular referring to sexual violence. What, if anything, did Mr. Waldman do to you relating to that article?
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation, calls for speculation.
What did he do to her?
Unintelligible. I don't understand the question.
Overruled, we'll see where it goes.
He was carrying the paper that had that headline on it that he leaked and threw it at me at the UK trial. We were unfortunately sat actually literally next to one another with COVID spacing in between us, and he threw the paper down at me as he sat down with that on the cover.
And where was that?
In the UK, at the UK trial.
Objection, Your Honor. This is beyond the scope.
That's not beyond the
No,
scope.
overruled.
Thank you. Why did you tweet about the makeup and Mr. Waldman?
Because he was calling me a liar and a hoaxer, and that this was an elaborate hoax just to get Johnny.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question. Next question.
Yeah, okay. I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, you can have a seat next to your attorney, okay? You can go ahead and have a seat next to her. That's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our afternoon recess then for 15 minutes. Do not discuss the case with anybody and don't do any outside research, okay? All right.